Sometimes listening to what somebody says could just save a life. This is 13-year-old Tristan Bailey. She was one of the 5 children of Stacy and Forrest Bailey. She was a cheerleader over at Patriot Oak Academy over in St. John's, Florida. But in May of 2021, she met her demise at the hands of one of her classmates. And that classmate would be the hands of 14-year-old Aidan Fucci. Aidan became one of those people that became fascinated and wanted to take the life of somebody to a point where that's all he ever talked about. He would even go as far as to tell his friends that he just wanted to take somebody into the woods, stab him, kill him, and then run away. His friends even went as far as saying that there were times where he always carried a knife on him, and his girlfriend even said that there were times where he would walk up to her and pretend that he would slit her throat. But her and her friends never took it seriously because they always thought he was just playing around and joking. They would even go on to claim that at times when he would get angry, he would hear voices. At times, his friends would ask him if he was to kill somebody, who would it be? And he would say, I don't know, but there is going to be a victim. So after careful planning and thinking about who it would be, he ended up deciding it was going to be Tristan Bailey. So on May 8th of 2021, Aidan had went ahead and texted one of his friends, asking him, do you have Tristan Bailey's number? And because they had like a mutual friend circle, they didn't think anything was wrong with that, so they went ahead and gave him Tristan's number. So Aidan ended up texting Tristan and tried to convince her to come out to hang out at a friend's house. Even though Tristan wasn't too sure about that, saying how her parents didn't want her out so late. But after some convincing, he managed to get her to come out that night. So they went to this mutual friend house, they hung out and just talked. And then around 1:10, they both left together. A security camera at a nearby home would show the two of them walking towards a wooded area that had a retention pond near it. And about an hour and 45 minutes later, that same camera would show Aidan running the opposite direction carrying his shoes. So in the morning of May 9th of 2021, her family had got up because it was Mother's Day and they wanted to go and celebrate with their mom. And so they went ahead and tried to wake up Tristan, but they realized that she wasn't home. So after looking all over the house and realized she wasn't there, that's when her father went ahead and called 911 and reported her missing. Due to her being a minor, police immediately sent out a search party to try to locate her. It wasn't until later on that day when a neighbor had found her lifeless body in the woods. During an autopsy, they have found that she had suffered over 114 stab or cutting wounds to the head, neck, shoulder, arms, and back. And over 49 of those were defensive wounds. Now, some of y'all may be wondering why stab her so many times. And if I was to come up with a theory, I would say that he would fall into the category of a single homicide. And what that entails is that the offender is more of an emotional reactor, and that his offense is more of the loss of control of those emotions, in which the offender is dealing with both interpersonal conflict as well as strong emotions. Now, this is where the story gets outrageous because on May 10th of 2021, Aidan was picked up by investigators because he was the last person to see Tristan alive, and they wanted to question to see what happened that night. And while he was in the back of a patrol car, he took a selfie and put it on Snapchat with the headline saying, has anybody seen Tristan? In which one of his friends actually replied and said, you're the last person who was with her, why don't you tell us what happened? Now, during their investigation, Aidan would give out conflicting stories of what happened that night by saying that, they left the party around 1:10 in the morning and they walked around for a little bit till they went their separate ways, and he didn't get home till around 3:30 in the morning. But when he realized that investigators weren't buying his story, that's when he told them that him and Tristan got into an argument to a point where he got so angry he pushed her, and when she fell, she hit her head against a rock. Due to the severity of the crime, Aidan was charged with first-degree murder, and he was also charged as an adult. Evidence that they had against him during his trial was that they found a knife that he used to stab Tristan with that had a tip broken off, which matched the piece of the tip that was found inside of Tristan's body. And after a search of his home, they found a notebook that had violent drawings in it, as well as a plethora of text messages, emails, as well as phone calls and interviews that he had with other people, including friends and inmates, because he pretty much talked to anybody that would listen to him. During their investigation, they also arrested Aidan's mom, Crystal Smith, because they had found out through a home security system that they kept inside their house that she was seen washing Aidan's jeans that he had used that night when he killed Aidan. Now, Crystal would go on to say that she didn't know there was blood on the jeans, but after a quick test, they actually found the jeans tested positive for both blood, and also their drains tested positive for blood as well too, which was also a match for Tristan. So Crystal Smith was charged with tampering with evidence, which could give her up to 5 years in prison. Aidan was charged as an adult for first-degree murder, but due to his young age, he was not eligible for the death penalty, so the judge gave him 40 years to life in prison. But after doing 25 years in prison, he would go under review for a possible lighter sentence. And since Crystal Smith was charged with tampering with evidence, she was given 30 days in jail plus 5 years probation.